is that the Chinese American Planning Council is one of the worst sweatshops in, I would say, this whole city. They have stolen an estimated $90 million from women workers that they forced to do 24-hour shifts, and we're only paying them for 13 of those 24 hours. And
Home health aides are picketing today to demand that CPC pay them the wages they say they are owed and end the 24-hour workday. An increasingly large part of New York's labor force, home health aides spend their days helping the elderly eat, take their medicine, and meet all their daily needs. And they are mostly immigrant women.
Every day we cannot sleep. We already cannot sleep 2 or 3 hours. Yeah, we have no eat time. I hope stop 24 hours. Stop 24 hours.
New York allows them to do 24-hour shifts, but only be paid for 13, so long as they get 5 hours of uninterrupted sleep and 3 hours of mealtime. If they don't get these, the home health aides must be paid for the full 24 hours. The open secret is that almost no one gets those breaks with the constant needs of their patients. But employers like the CPC, the Chinese American Planning Council, will never
stop, continue, no sleep for years. So a lot of workers become patient. You can see them, push the worker to protest today because the health is damaged.
They've been campaigning to abolish a 24-hour workday for years, going on hunger strike for 5 days outside City Hall in March.
This is a so-called nonprofit exploiting the workers. It's very shameful. We protest here to demand the CPC pay back the stolen wages right now because they've been fighting years.
The workers say they are owed over $90 million for decades of unpaid nights. However, in 2022, their union, the SEIU 1199, entered into mediation on their behalf, closing out the claims with a $30 million settlement fund that CPC and 42 other agencies paid into. Because of this, CPC and the SEIU say that the workers are not owed anymore.
然后他们一算起来，他做了10多年的24小时，拿了3000多块。工会他不会问我们这些，要我们去讲。但是我们那个时候是新移民，我们都怕。如果我们去讲了，就好像我那个怕了，他说我不敢了，我怕给人家炒鱿鱼啊。
The home health aides have been recently reinvigorated due to leaked emails they received that they say show that CPC, the New York State Department of Labor, Governor Kathy Hochul's administration, and SEIU 1199 all colluded to deny them their stolen wages. There was an active investigation into the arbitration between CPC and the SEIU by the Department of Labor, until CPC's former board chair entered Hochul's administration, at which point the investigation was suddenly closed. In September, the state Supreme Court found that it had been improperly closed and demanded the investigation be reopened. 2 months later, just a few weeks ago, CPC received a $7 billion contract from the state to be the sole administrator for home health workers in New York City, Long Island, and Westchester. While workers are fired up about their unpaid nights, the impacts from working 24-hour workdays for years go beyond finances.
你想我几天都不在家，我的小孩子已经算好了，我什么东西，他们1日3餐要自己弄，他们的学业我也不知道，有时候开什么家长会，我都是叫我哥哥嫂子去的，所以我不能陪他们，不能在家照顾他们，也不能够陪着他们成长。
Lai Chan is another worker who says she suffers from severe insomnia as a result of the job. For 8 out of her 21 years as a home health aide, she worked 24-hour shifts several days a week. A loud alarm next to her bed would go off regularly during her sleep breaks to alert her that the patient needed medication or to go to the bathroom. When she raised this issue to CPC, she was told to ignore the patient overnight. When she finally built up the courage to properly document her hours on her timesheet, she was fired.
肺氣腫哮喘嘅，所以我哋冇辦法瞓到覺，又驚住佢停止呼吸，驚佢冇呼吸，又要同。
CPC has repeatedly said that they also oppose the 24-hour workday, but are unable to implement a different work schedule without legislative change on the state level. Medicare, which reimburses them for the majority of the labor, expects nonprofits like CPC to be able to get 24 hours of work out of the home health workers with only 13 hours of compensation. If Medicare would instead pay 2 people to do 2 12-hour shifts and be paid for each hour, CPC says they would gladly go along. CPC also says that paying out the $90 million in back wages would collapse the entire industry. While these workers want to someday recover the money they say they earn, their primary goal is to abolish the labor practice in the interest of protecting future generations.
如果让我从头再选的话，我不会做这份工。